What if your history book skipped North America's biggest city? In 1100 AD, Cahokia, in today's Illinois, was a metropolis of 20,000 people, the largest urban center north of Mexico at the time. Crazy, right? And that's just the beginning. Stick around. Next, we'll uncover a Great Plains city of 20,000 and even a sunken Puebloan town, all mysteriously missing from our textbooks. You might have heard of the Aztecs or Incas, but did you know equally impressive cities existed here long before Europeans arrived? We're talking ancient Native American cities so large and advanced that modern archaeology still can't fully explain them. In this video, we'll reveal big archaeological finds and historical clues, from jaw-dropping population numbers to lost underwater ruins, that upend everything you thought you knew about early America. We'll tease out mysteries like religious pilgrim cities and Spanish explorers lost on the plains. But first, imagine a city bigger than Chicago in 1100 AD, Cahokia, North America's lost metropolis. In Illinois, centuries before modern America, a massive city thrived. Archaeologists call it Cahokia. By around 1050 to 1150 CE, 10 to 20,000 Native Americans lived there, more people than Columbus ever saw in North America. They laid out wide plazas aligned with sun and stars and built colossal earthen temples, mounds. Monk's Mound, a 100-foot high pyramid of earth, still stands today. For context, the mound-building Mississippians who built Cahokia dominated the eastern U.S. from about 1000 to 1500 AD. In fact, archaeologists say Cahokia was designed as a kind of pilgrimage city, drawing people from dozens of tribes. Think early Manhattan of its day. But here's the twist. By 1350 AD, Cahokia was suddenly abandoned. No European invasion had happened yet. De Soto didn't arrive until 1540. And archaeologists can't agree on why it emptied out. Drought? Flood? Religious upheaval? The mystery remains. We'll come back to a recent study on this. What's worse, the fact of Cahokia's greatness is little known. It was literally North America's first city, the largest north of Mexico, yet most people have never heard of it. What if Cahokia never really died out? Contrary to old legends of a vanishing civilization, modern science is rewriting the story. A 2020 UC Berkeley study found that after the 1300s collapse, new native groups returned to the Cahokia region and kept living there into the 1500s and beyond. Using pollen and even ancient human poop DNA, researchers showed a steady population after European contact. In other words, the ghost town myth is busted. The area was never truly empty. The Cahokia case is a perfect example of myth busting. Yes, the city disappeared as a central hub around 1350. What happened next is complex. But the lessons are clear. North America supported massive societies with urban planning, agriculture, and astronomy long before settlers. Today's hidden evidence, from stratified soil to petroglyph alignments, reveals Cahokia and its people in stunning detail. Etzanoa, the Great Plains' secret city. Next, let's travel west to the Great Plains, Kansas, and meet Etzanoa, a virtually unknown city until just a few years ago. In 1541, the conquistador Coronado marched through Kansas looking for gold and found instead a string of Wichita villages. Decades later, 1601, Juan de Oñate came with just 70 men and ran into the Escanzaques tribe, who told him of a famous nearby city called Etzanoa. They eventually reached it and spied numerous grass houses along the river. The scene is wild. The Spanish counted 2,000 thatched lodges, each with 8 to 10 people, then fled when the locals panicked. That suggests around 20,000 souls, as big as Cahokia. For centuries, this account was dismissed as exaggeration. Then archaeologists got to work. Fresh translations of the Spanish logs and high-tech surveys led Wichita State's Dr. Don Blakesley to dig at Arkansas City, Kansas. By 2018, they had confirmed it. Etzanoa was real, a sprawling urban area of about 5 miles along the Walnut and Arkansas rivers. Blakesley notes Etzanoa is the second largest ancient Native American settlement in the U.S. after Cahokia. They found thousands of artifacts, arrowheads, pottery, and evidence of intensive buffalo hunting and food production. This flips our assumptions about plains history. We tend to picture nomadic tribes following buffalo, but the Etzanoa people were semi-sedentary, urban farmers and bison processors. Travel Kansas reports they had 80% of tools specialized for processing bison, and even traded preserved foods and buffalo robes across the hemisphere. In other words, they were industrial producers supplying tribes from coast to coast. The Spaniards even noted their deep tattoos and friendly demeanor before the conflict. The story of Etzanoa shines an extreme what if. What if a golden city of 20,000 had been on your doorstep? It was, and historians are just now catching up. The lost Pueblo city under Lake Mead. Our final case is in the southwest. Picture this. In the 1920s, before Hoover Dam filled Lake Mead, archaeologists uncovered the lost city of Pueblo Grande, Nevada. Over 1,000 years ago, ancestral Puebloans built villages in the muddy river valley. Hopi call them the Hisatzinom, ancient ones. There they built elaborate towns, surface adobe houses with 20 to 100 rooms each. One building dwarfed typical dwellings with over 100 rooms. They lived side by side with earlier pit house, basket maker communities, farming corn in the valley. But just as they learned about this city, it was drowned. In 1938, as Lake Mead rose behind Hoover Dam, archaeologists literally raced the waters. They excavated and saved artifacts, but most remains were lost underwater. Today, you can visit the Lost City Museum of Archaeology, but the city itself lies beneath the lake. This dramatic rescue tells us how advanced Pueblo societies were. They had multi-room apartment-style homes, salt mines, and trade, yet half their town now slumbers in the lake. Imagine, your summer vacation spot might cover an ancient village, other forgotten civilization. Cahokia, Etzanoa, and the Lost City are just highlights. Similar surprises are everywhere in North America. For example, Moundville in Alabama was a fortified Mississippian capital. Thousands lived in its 300-acre plaza. And Etowah in Georgia has 6 giant mounds. The Newark earthworks in Ohio form a gigantic 1,200-foot circle, the largest geometric earthen structure on the continent. In the Southwest alone, places like Chaco Canyon and Mesa Verde had high-rise cliff dwellings for thousands. Yet most of these sites get only a footnote in class. Here's a mini cliffhanger. Why aren't these lessons in textbooks? Partly because many native histories were de-emphasized for generations. But thanks to open-minded scholarship and new techniques, even ancient poop analysis, we're rewriting the narrative. These discoveries teach you to stay curious. History isn't fixed. It's unfolding in fields and labs around the country. Remember, what was lost often just means forgotten. So the next time someone says American civilization was primitive before Europeans, you know the answer. A hidden network of native cities spanned this land, sophisticated in science, agriculture, and trade. They didn't vanish overnight. Our knowledge did. What other secrets lie buried beneath our feet? That question should keep you up at night. After all, there could be other lost cities waiting to rewrite history. Keep asking questions, and maybe you'll uncover one of them.